So there were two skills that we learned this semester that I think really helped me with, with like learning the content of the class and continuing the conversation with the helpee or client or peer or whatever else you want to say. And I think those two were open-ended questions and silence. And the reason why I picked silence was because I think it helps spur on conversation in a way because anybody else, we all get uncomfortable with sitting in silence, but it allows the helpee to go ahead and then think of things that they want to talk about. So problems in their world, um, thought processes, and other things that they wouldn't originally be able to think of if you're, talking to them. So I thought in that way, silence was a really, really useful skill because it just spurs on conversation and it allows the helpee to think. And then what is the best way to help spur on silence or give a moment is open-ended questions, which is the second one that I really like learning about this semester. Because open-ended questions, give that, ability to have silence and that ability for the helpee to think about stuff or think about whatever they're struggling with. So like an open-ended question that isn't just like a yes or no answer, because yes or no answers, put up that wall as we learned. It just puts up that ability, like inability to go and communicate or to cross that barrier. It's just a yes or no question or like a quick response like, oh, what is your favorite color? Green. There's not really an open way to communicate in that regard. But with an open-ended question like, how do you feel about that? Or what do you think is the best course of action? Those things help spur on or continue the thought processing. It also helps the helper or the professional to kind of like gauge where the conversation's going and like give an opportunity to not just tell the client or peer or helpee, what they should think. Because I think when we just tell them what they should think, then it doesn't create a sense of self-reliance, it creates a sense of dependency. And then they're looking for other people to solve all their problems instead of looking inward and getting that buildup of self-confidence to actually solve their own problems. And I recently got licensed in Idaho as a peer support specialist, and I just barely finished the course. And in that course, we learned a lot about open-ended questions, and I think that really helped my understanding in this class too, because we did a lot of role plays, like a week's worth of role play, 9 hours a day of learning this stuff. And I think the most thing that was helpful out of that entire learning was the open-ended questions, because it really, really helped, spur on conversation and not to just be awkward, and to also give like the client a minute to think and just respond. And I think that was just a really helpful thing. And in that class, we're not supposed to say client, we're supposed to say peer. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to say client interchangeably or helpee, so that way, we can know what we're talking about. But I think it really helps spur on that necessary conversation, and it really, really helped open the peer or the client up to like the possibilities and just help them really really just think about what they wanted to do instead of you just solving things for them or just telling them what to do. And it also builds like that connection of trust, like you really care about what they're feeling and you're not really dismissive. And so in that regard, I think those are the two best things that I learned, was silence and open-ended questions. And so yeah, it was a great semester, and I liked reading, and getting to know some of you through doing our role plays and stuff for this class. But yeah, it was really cool. So thanks.